Let's have a look at the runners and riders and your contenders for the World Championship title. Niels Daniel is your master of ceremonies, and he will lead the athletes' introductions. Here he is, the triple back guy himself, Cam Nelson of the United States of America. Third strongest in qualification, but an architect of some of the most fearsome difficulty in the world. Carlos YULO, or to use his full title, Petty Officer First Class in the Philippine Navy Reserve. Carlos YULO, World Champion Carlos YULO, Olympic Champion Carlos YULO, the man who does spectacular work on floor. From Hungary, the sixth best in qualification, the all-around bronze medalist at the European Championships earlier this year, Krisztofer MESZAROS. Now there's more than one triple back gymnast in this final. Luke Whitehouse will start with that dynamic opening tumbling pass, and he is the reigning three-time champion of Europe. But there's one nation that excels more than any other on men's floor. It's Japan. Minami Kazuki will look to win Japan's 12th gold medal in this particular final at world level. Sometimes it's not about the medals you win, it's about being the first, and he is the first. Tikumporn SURINTORNTA of Thailand. Congratulations, sir. You are the first from your nation ever to make a World Championship final into the history books. After him will come the top performer in qualification, Great Britain's JARMAN, the bronze medalist on this apparatus at the Olympiad in Paris. He has fearsome difficulty. We expect it to be the joint highest of anyone. And what a nice way to finish with the bronze medalist from the last competition in Antwerp, Milad KARIMI of Kazakhstan, a stylish, tidy athlete who produces very elegant work on this apparatus. We are set to begin, and it's going to be a fascinating contest. The warm-up's about to take place. The finalists ready. Here they are, the contenders for the men's floor title at the World Championships. The top performer in qualification was JARMAN of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He'll be the penultimate gymnast to go. We anticipate him and Kameron Nelson, who'll be the first to go, to have the highest difficulty. If only it were as simple as having the highest difficulty and that makes you win. There's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
There certainly is. I mean, the judges are looking for just those smallest details that's going to set apart each gymnast.
And that's a perfect time to say it, Hugh, because he's a master, isn't he, of the small details, Carlos YULO.
I think people love watching Carlos. He just has style, he has difficulty, he kind of has the whole package.
That's a very nice way of putting it, actually, the whole package, because there's an overall sense of glue, of cohesion to his routine. That really matters, doesn't it, particularly now in the men's code of points.
100%. The judges definitely are looking for the power, the difficulty, and the uniqueness that sets each gymnast apart, for sure.
Well, in terms of uniqueness, you have the twisting maestro, Minami Kazuki, who will be competing later on in this final. It's the standard format of 4 up, and then we'll have another split warm-up, and then the next 4 will go. Standard apparatus rules. That means he will be the last to go in this first half of the men's floor final. Luke Whitehouse, the reigning 3-time champion of Europe on floor, consecutive as well. Extraordinary. So interestingly, in this final, in the first half, we've got Cam Nelson, who we know is going to give us explosivity in difficulty. We've got that gentleman, Krisztofer MESZAROS, who has comparatively lower difficulty, the joint lowest difficulty of anyone. So for someone like MESZAROS, tidiness is going to be everything.
You know, in a apparatus final, anything can happen, and that's really the exciting part of these finals. Whether you have the difficulty or the cleanliness, it really comes down to who can nail the best routine in this very moment.
You've been through that many times yourself. You've been a medalist on the international stage at the Pan American Games, the Pacific Rim Championships, so you know how to go out there and handle an apparatus final. As you say, there are lots of variables. Do you think a great deal about the other gymnasts? Are they in the corner of your mind? Are you watching them, or are you really just all about your own work?
I think the best performance gymnasts can do is focusing on doing their best gymnastics. And when it comes down to it, that's really all they can control, is doing their best gymnastics.
Are there moments where you watch other people in a final and you just think, well, that's the end of that then? That was just phenomenal and there's nothing I can do about it. Do you ever just become a fan on the sidelines?
Oh, 100%. I think that's how athletes continue to get better, is through that example of the others.
We are to begin. Welcome, everyone.
Gymnasts, this is the end of your warm-up time.
The warm-ups are complete.
How does it go today?
What a fascinating way to start this men's floor final.
The gymnasts with the 3 highest scores will be on the podium. 4 gymnasts in the first part of this warm-up.
Last moments of preparation. All of the coaching staff, the medical staff working cohesively. We are to begin with Cam Nelson. An extremely impressive gymnast on this apparatus. Somebody who is an architect of monstrous difficulty. Kameron Nelson of the USA, third best in qualification, 14.3. We anticipate here that we're going to see the single hardest skill that we can actually get in men's gymnastics. This is the man they call Mr. Triple Back. We're about to discover why.
Wow, excellent first pass. As far as I know, he's the only one in the world performing 2 triple backflips. First one being pike. There's the tuck.
Absolutely extraordinary. He gets incredible amplitude. And one imagines the challenge for any gymnast, if they're opening with those 2 tumbling passes, is to actually keep the intensity going for the rest of the routine, because that's a lot to pack in early on.
Definitely a lot to pack in. The amount of pure strength and power it takes to pull off those 2 skills. Very nice.
So far, the landings are looking sharp.
Absolutely. Something new this year in the code is the 1/10 sticking bonus.
Really strong display that from Kameron Nelson. What an opening to this final. I think he's rather pleased with that, Hugh, and I think it's easy to see why. Yes, the reigning collegiate vaulting champion as well in the United States of America, also won bronze on floor, and he won a silver on this apparatus at the national championships as well. Extraordinary gymnastics, and we'll have the opportunity to look back and enjoy that routine again. That first skill is incredibly hard. Triple pike. That's not the first skill, that's later on. There we go.
Wow. Good pike position, slightly separation in the legs.
Let's wait for the first score of this event.
He will take a penalty 10th for the step out of bounds. It's just incredible that he can get his body rotated in that pike position, because physically it's so much harder, isn't it, to rotate in the pike position than the tuck position?
Of course, yes, and especially with that amount of power, the momentum moving backwards, you really have to take off in the perfect position in order to get the enough height that you need.
Yes, there's no way you're going to get the body around, is there, if you don't get the sufficient height in your takeoff?
Exactly.
Well, lift off for Cam Nelson. Congratulations to him, the 24-year-old. 14.3 in qualification, the third strongest number. And he's very close to that, 14.133. The execution, 7.933. It's a small drop from the preliminary round, but it's a very compelling score. It could be a score sufficient to get on the podium. The last gold medal won by the USA was by Paul Hamm in 2003 on this apparatus. Carlos YULO. A very different sort of routine, this. The second best in qualification, but you are watching the reigning Olympic champion. And what is so impressive about Carlos YULO is the way the whole thing hangs together as an artistic piece of gymnastics.
Absolutely. Great first pass.
It's those lovely little flourishes, isn't it, how he gets from one skill to another.
Very nice. He's really worked well at having that combination of showing the power, showing his flipping ability, twisting ability, artistic ability, just all the whole package.
Again, it's exquisite, it's balletic. I know there's wonderful tumbling, and you're going to keep me focused on that, Hugh, but there's just such beauty to these sorts of moments.
Of course, and I love that coming back to the sport now. It sometimes with coda points, it can kind of disappear a little bit. I think it's...
Oh,
wow.
Yes, what a final pass from YULO, going for that stick bonus, and a lovely display. First class from the Petty Officer First Class in the Philippine Navy Reserve. It's glorious Carlos YULO, and it puts the art in artistic gymnastics.
You can definitely see why he is a gold medal competitor.
We told you that we have some of the best gymnasts in the world here in the men's floor. For example, the Olympic gold medalist.
Well, execution-wise, in qualification, he scored 8.666. And that was, surprise, surprise, the finest execution score. The challenge is going to be matching it. He did have a few little landing adjustments here and there. And they're small things, but they may well just gently add up. Other than that, beautiful form.
Very good routine. In an apparatus final, it does come down to those details. We will wait and see what result that has.
Beautifully keeps the heels together, doesn't he, in flight?
Very nice.
You were watching that replay like somebody stares at a painting in a gallery. You're just transfixed by it. It's a joy. Awarded the Presidential Medal of Merit last year for his incredible accomplishments. He's also a literature graduate from Teikyo University in Japan, where so much of his training is being conducted. Again, we have the chance to have a look back at this display from Carlos YULO. Not a bad way to conclude.
You can see him staring at that ground right before he lands, make sure you get that stick bonus.
.533, he goes into the gold medal position. The execution a little down from qualification, as we were talking about, but only by hundredths. So he goes ahead of Cam Nelson. Still, we have 6 to go. This is another gymnast who's known for his very tidy work. Krisztofer MESZAROS of Hungary, 24-year-old who was 9th in the all-around competition at the Olympic Games in Paris. He had a huge moment at the European Championships in Leipzig earlier this year when he won the all-around bronze medal. His difficulty isn't necessarily huge. What? How did he save that?
That's where the experience comes in. Lovely stick.
And that's going to be key, isn't it, for MESZAROS? If he's going to challenge for the podium, he's got to really stick all of these landings, knowing that his start value isn't as compelling as some of the others.
That's right, and really it could be, like I said, anyone's game in these apparatus finals. Two and a half twist.
Well, something of a mixed bag there from Krisztofer MESZAROS. He had an extraordinary save at the beginning, a little landing imprecision at the end. In the middle, it was very nice.
That was, you had some great sticks in there. That is a very difficult dismount to finish with. The double-double, 2 twists with 2 flips. Anytime you can hit a routine in an apparatus final, it's always a great feeling.
He took up the sport after watching the great Christian Berkey win the pommel horse title at London 2012. That's when he really committed seriously to his quest. That's an incredible save, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Something that really just comes with experience.
And that's very classically Krisztofer MESZAROS, those lovely stuck landings. Will it be sufficient to get him a place on the podium? That is what we're going to discover as this competition goes on, the men's floor final at the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics here in Jakarta. .533 leads the way. That's Carlos YULO. Cam Nelson, 14.133 second place. Slightly protracted start to this floor final. Judges taking time to get the calculations just so, as indeed they should. It matters to get it right. It's the Championships of the World. His score in qualifying was 13.966. 13.266. It is quite a drop. The execution 7.766. So that's where the majority of the drop of around 3/4 of a mark has come, and probably a lot of that was the very first tumbling pass.
That's right, yeah. Plus the difficulty not being as high.
Luke Whitehouse of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the reigning 3-time European champion on floor. Only the second person to win 3 consecutive European floor titles. We expect a big opening from him.
Another triple.
Now, with Luke Whitehouse, can he keep it tidy? Because if he can, the difficulty at 6.1 in qualification is there to challenge.
these elements give the athletes a chance to, although it looks hard, it is a chance to breathe, believe it or not.
Well, I'm glad you can take a breath in that position. I can't get into that position.
Oh, another great stick.
This is important if he's going to execute the scale to hold it precisely, and he does, the Y scale, nicely.
Very good landings here.
Steadies himself, Luke Whitehouse of Great Britain. That's a great display. My goodness. My goodness me, Luke Whitehouse. 13.866 in qualifying. It's going to be very interesting, Hugh, to see what the execution score is like. 7.866 in qualification. He looks rather pleased with that. He's also the reigning World University Games champion on floor. No British man had ever landed a triple back on floor until he came along. Let's have a look back at this.
You can see the feet tightly squeezed together just until the end there. And the punch, double front somersault with a small hop on the landing. Again, those tightly squeezed feet, you can see them just on the end, spotting the landing.
This was a tidy looking display, wasn't it, from Luke Whitehouse?
It certainly was. Again, that double twisting dismount, extremely difficult.
Thrilled about that display. Luke Whitehouse. Actually, his first time competing at a senior world championships. Remarkable to think that he's won the European title thrice. He's been to the Olympic Games, but he was a reserve in Antwerp. So he's waited for this opportunity. And you were right to point out this moment here was almost a rest time for the gymnasts. Easy, isn't it, to lose marks there?
Yeah, the judges are really looking for you to be as flat as possible, as close to the floor.
Oh, what a score from Luke Whitehouse.
Oh, he will take that.
Forget qualification. Forget 13.866. He'll take that and he'll take the lead. He may even take the world title. That's extraordinary. He's just gone ahead of the reigning Olympic champion, which, by the way, is very much a Luke Whitehouse thing. He's got a habit of going ahead of reigning Olympic champions on floor.
Well, with a routine stacked with difficulty plus the execution, very, very good. You want to have both of those, and he performed that really well. That's going to get you to the top.
Now, let us not count chickens before they've hatched, because we've got people like JARMAN to come, bronze medalist at the Olympics in Paris. We've got MINAMI Kazuki, who will produce a different sort of display on floor, very much centered around the twisting skills. We've got Milad KARIMI, who's a very compelling gymnast on the apparatus, the bronze medal at the last World Championships, and the history-making appearance of Tikumporn SURINTORNTA of Thailand as well. That's going to be a wonderful moment, and feels very right that we have 3 Southeast Asian finalists at the first Southeast Asian Championships of the world.
Of course, it truly is a testament of the level of the sport all around the world, Southeast Asia, everywhere, growing the level. It's really, truly beautiful to see.
It's one of the absolute true great global sports, artistic gymnastics, when you look at who wins medals at international level.
Absolutely.
Let's continue this men's floor final. We remind ourselves of the gentleman leading the way. Luke Whitehouse has actually challenged his difficulty. It's the same difficulty as qualification, the score he received. So we'll let you know if there's any alteration to his final score. Waiting in the wings A gentleman who has twice been a silver medalist on this apparatus at the World Championships. Beautiful athlete to watch. Very stylish gymnast. He may be somebody who adds a little extra difficulty. He got a 5.7 difficulty scoring qualification, but he's always got a trick or two up his sleeve, hasn't he?
Yes, and being the two-time silver medalist, I'm wondering if it gives him that extra little desire to kind of fight for something.
Now we have no change to Luke Whitehouse's score. Minami Kazuki, 14.1 in qualification, the 5th strongest. He's from Yamaguchi in the southwest of Honshu, the largest of Japan's islands. A city on the coast, very close to beautiful Kyushu Island. We shall see if there's a little extra difficulty to be gained from Minami Kazuki. He will have to gain something somewhere if he is to get onto the podium, because if he gets the score he did in qualifying, he'll be 4th. And regrettably,
oh, no.
First tumbling pass, problematic. Takes just a moment to settle himself.
Sometimes going for that stick, there it is, that's a beautiful, sometimes going for that stick, preparing for it a little bit too early, unfortunately can cause those falls.
This is a great dilemma, isn't it, for all gymnasts, particularly when it comes to the final skill in a routine now in the new men's code of points with the stick bonus. It must be a very delicate balancing act to get right, knowing when to accept a step and when to really try to hold for a stick.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful to see than a gymnastics stick on that final pass. And I think really that's what the judges are trying to make the athletes go for that stick.
Well, it wasn't quite as he wanted it to be on this occasion, regrettably for Minami Kazuki. It in no way diminishes his worth. It in no way lessens the quality of his gymnastics on floor. Some days it just doesn't quite happen. You know that, Hugh, like any elite gymnast knows it.
Of course, and I think I think that at this finals you have to go for it. You have to go 100%. He was probably going for sticking every line, and unfortunately that can happen sometimes when you under-rotate the skill, don't flip enough.
Well, let's have a look back at the display of Minami Kazuki.
Very clean. Here's where the mistake happened here. A little bit opening up a little bit too soon, you can see there. Unfortunately, just was not enough rotation. This here, the triple twisting, to come back after a fall first line and stick and nail the second line shows a tremendous amount of mental strength. Not to lose focus. Very nice triple twisting.
Well, he will maintain his leading position. We have confirmation the score is unchanged. Gianni Regini Moran, the only British gold medalist at the World Championships on floor. That was 2022 in the championships held in Liverpool in the United Kingdom.
Waiting for the score of Kazuki, Minami.
There might be another British gymnast right at the top of the table as well, because Jake Jarman is still to come. We still have 3 more performances to come in this men's floor final. 12.533 for Minami Kazuki. Unfortunately, it is quite a considerable drop. It's over a mark and a half down from qualification. It means that Luke Whitehouse stays in the gold medal position, then Carlos YULO, then Cam Nelson. Remember this gentleman, Tikumporn SURINTORNTA of Thailand. Already, right there in that single moment as he steps onto the floor, he's done something that no one from his nation has ever done at the World Championships. This is
beautiful
historic.
Start right there.
And he's not bad either, is he?
Oh, that's... Wow. He has come here today to represent his country really well so far.
And to represent Southeast Asia, because he is 6 times a medalist at the Southeast Asian Games.
Very nice. Excellent start. Let's see if he can keep this going. Oh, he has come here today. It's almost like he can't not stick today. A required skill.
That is a beautiful display from Tikumporn SURINTORNTA of Thailand, who enters the history books as the flag flies with pride for not just Thailand, but for Southeast Asia in these first ever Southeast Asian Championships of the world. But he didn't, as you say, just come to make up the numbers, did he? He came to attack this final, and there's a lot to love about his elegant, precise gymnastics.
There certainly is. I mean, you could see every line was just beautifully stuck. If there was ever a place to do that, it was right here at his first World Championships, competing for his country. Beautiful. Excellent pike position.
He's known for his extremely tidy execution, but as you have said about apparatus finals, sometimes translating that from qualification into a final is a very big jump. He's done it.
Yes, he did. There certainly is an added pressure coming into the finals.
Well, he is a graduate of sports science from the Institute of Physical Education in Sukhothai. Very accomplished athlete, a huge fan of football. And he's, to use a footballing analogy, just stuck that routine into the back of the net.
I would say he's very happy with that performance.
How could you not be? Wasn't that lovely? Execution was 8.366 in qualification. 13.7, very close to the qualifying score. He's just outside of the podium, but you know what? There's an entire generation in Thailand right now that suddenly believes that they can make it to a World Championship final because of him.
And that's what this is all about. Inspiring the next generation.
Here comes the top qualifier, JARMAN of Great Britain, bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. This should be ferociously difficult.
Triple twisting, double layout with a small hop on the landing. Very good start. Three and a half stuck dismount. That is extremely difficult to stick. It's a blind landing. And he's just showing off his ability to twist and flip. It's magnificent.
Are we about to witness the greatest floor final in men's competition in the history of British gymnastics at a World Championships?
Another stick.
Final moments for Jake Jarman!
Wow, what a routine.
That is stunning from Great Britain's Jake Jarman. Well, Great Britain will be in the lead no matter what happens when the judges have made their calculations, because Luke Whitehouse is at the top of the leaderboard, but that was full of complexity. Well, let's have a look back at this.
Very nice, the second pass. The double fronts have become very popular in this code of points. Combining them with the twisting element, with the double flipping element. Many of the athletes are doing that. A little bit of floor work.
Difficulty-wise, we expect this to be comparable, if not equal, to Cam Nelson's 6.3. That could give him a couple of tenths over Luke Whitehouse. 14.7 was the qualification score. He needs to get around that if he is to go into the lead. So we're in for a dramatic wait now.
We will see. It certainly was exceptional.
Whitehouse leading the way. Now the score coming in for Jake Jarman! 14.866. He goes into the gold medal position. Luke Whitehouse is in second place. He nearly took off there, didn't he?
Wow.
So it's Great Britain 1 and 2 with Carlos YULO of the Philippines in the bronze medal position. That was absolutely huge. And indeed, the 2 extra tenths of difficulty, the separation criteria, only 2 tenths between them. Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, the last to go, 14.133 in qualification. That would put him in 4th place, and he was the 4th best qualifier.
Let's see how today goes. Very nice, a little bit low on that squat landing, but the pike was an excellent position. Similar skill in the tucked position. So far, so good. Excellent triple twist side pass. Again, we really don't know. Anything can happen in an apparatus final. Set for the dismount.
Great conclusion from Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan. He makes a compelling case to get onto the podium. The challenge is that he needs in excess of 14.533 to do it, or to beat Carlos YULO on an execution tiebreak. There aren't many that beat Carlos YULO on an execution tiebreak. It's been a very high level, hasn't it, this floor final?
Oh, certainly, yes.
So we just remind you, Jarman, Whitehouse, YULO, 1, 2, and 3. Milad Karimi brings this men's floor final to a close. Let's have a look back.
This is the twisting element combination with the double front flip, as we mentioned. Very popular. They're getting bonus for these elements. Excellent stick. Again, the forward landing adds a level of difficulty because you don't see the floor when you're landing. And finishing with 2 flips, 2 twists, step on the landing. Overall, great set. And he will get that stick bonus.
He's a gymnast who's known for his very elegant work, Milad Karimi. Easy to see why. He's also an exceptional performer on the horizontal bar. He's had a very good season in World Cup competition. He's won 3 gold medals on floor, 4 on the horizontal bar. He's one of those people who's out there week in, week out, traveling the world, working so hard on the international stage. Here we go, the last number is going to come in. 14.533 holds bronze, 14.666 holds silver, 14.866 holds gold. And there is the gentleman who hopes he'll be the champion of the world, JARMAN. He's been a world champion on vault. Could he now be a world champion on floor? His chances are pretty good. Luke Whitehouse stands next to him as the British look to go 1 and 2 on floor for the first time in the history of the Men's World Championships. He doesn't know where to look at the moment, JARMAN. It's the longest wait in the world. Same for Luke Whitehouse. Just to remind you, he scored 14.133, or 14.1, I should say, in qualification. 14.133 is currently 4th position. That's Cam Nelson.
I know these moments can feel like forever for an athlete sometimes.
Yes, they feel long for us. They probably feel a lot longer for you. The score is in. It's 13.6 for Milad Karimi. He does indeed get the stick bonus, but the podium has been decided, and JARMAN is the champion of the world. The bronze medalist at the Olympic Games is joined by Luke Whitehouse. Great Britain 1 and 2 in the men's floor final. Luke Whitehouse, the 3-time consecutive European champion in his World Championship debut, makes it the best British floor final ever. And Carlos YULO, the Olympic champion, playing his part, he takes the bronze medal. What a fantastic final.
Certainly, I mean, winning the gold medal is one thing. Winning it with a teammate adds another element to it. So congratulations, winners, congratulations, finalists. What a fantastic floor final.
The classified results in the men's floor competition: bronze to Carlos YULO of the Philippines, silver to Luke Whitehouse of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and the gold medal won by his teammate JARMAN, the 2nd British world title in the men's floor final at the World Championships. We're going to continue with the action in just a moment, and we'll move across to the women's competitions. The vaulting table will be called into play on this day 1 of apparatus finals. But let's take a moment to look back at how the race was run and how the medals were won.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another final, the women's vault final.
Our coverage. Lots of great entertainment to bring you. The auto knee for the men's floor exercise taking place at the Indonesia Arena here in Jakarta on what is a warm day in this wonderful, vibrant city. It's a very friendly place, the city of Jakarta. And it really is a city that never sleeps, a bustling metropolis, to use a tried and tested cliche, but one that Jakarta deserves. It's got some lovely parts to it as well, some older quarters. It's busy, it's full of life, as is the Indonesia Arena as we present these medals. Congratulations to anyone who makes it onto a World Championship podium. In doing that, they've accomplished something that virtually nobody will ever do in their careers. They are the best of the best, and we're honoured to be in their company. That's quite some podium. That is lovely from Carlos YULO. What a gentleman to do that. For the Olympic champion to say, yes, I know I'm reasonably well known, but these are the two men in the spotlight right now. Good for him. As if we'd expect anything else from a gentleman like Carlos YULO. Classy Kaloi. The presentation party making their way onto the stage. That's a real winning image from these championships, actually. One of the things that makes the sport of gymnastics so wonderful, the sporting spirit. Well, it is Carlos YULO from the Philippines who wins the bronze medal in the men's floor competition at the World Championships in Jakarta. One of the very finest sports people in the history of Southeast Asia. Luke Whitehouse from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The winner of the silver medal, the three-time consecutive champion of Europe. He's on the world stage now. A World Championship debutant, and look at where he is. Whose house? It's Luke Whitehouse. But it's JARMAN, the Starman, at the World Championships here in Jakarta. The bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. Well, he's beaten his own teammate and the Olympic champion at the World Championships. An absolutely fabulous outcome for the British team and for Jake Jarman. You're looking at the champion of the world.
Here's the regional chairman of the Indonesian Gymnastics Federation.
And we should say as well that there is a real sense of triumph in a wider way for Southeast Asia, because that gentleman, like Carlos YULO, has a very deep connection to the Philippines. Southeast Asian stars in Southeast Asia. We'll have the national anthem of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The national anthem of the United Kingdom, God Save the King, adopted in September of 1745 and played in honour of Jake Jarman. Joined by his fellow medalists in the men's floor competition at the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. That was a very nice ceremony, wasn't it, Hugh? A very respectful ceremony. Carlos YULO was so classy.